Hi there.
Hello.
It's Belinda and Lee from Chateau Marais. We're in the kitchen today, lit by a candlelight, how romantic. But we're not cooking today, we're not actually making any food. But we will be making something that smells quite nice.
We're making candles. It's our newfound hobby.
Well, we love scented candles and we always try and put them out when we've got guests coming, or if it's just us, or if you've got friends. We just love to have scented candles in the chateau. And we were buying lots of them. And the thought struck us that why didn't we make them ourselves?
Might be fun, and also we got more control over the ingredients, because what we found was some of the scented candles that we bought, you couldn't really smell them. They didn't smell very strongly at all. Basically, I think what we were doing was buying cheap. So
we thought, right, we'll make them ourselves.
We'll make them ourselves, and then we can put a little bit more scented ingredient in, and that way we'd get a stronger fragrance. So we tried a few out and it worked, so we were very pleased with it, so we carried on. So
we did some research, and actually making candles is not very complicated, but we found that the best thing to do was to get the right equipment, actually, because that makes the whole process much simpler. So we've got a jug, for example. We've got a metal pouring jug for the wax. We've got a thermometer.
Essential stuff.
Very essential. We've got these, which are
wick holders. So that you get these wicks and put them in. I'll show you what
we'll do that in a minute.
Yeah. Some candle. Oh, I really like these. Look at that. How cool is that? For holding the candle, a nice little lid, and you can keep it on, keep the scent in.
That is soy wax flakes again, and we found these to be the easiest and most pleasant type of wax to use for the candles. Oh, and this is a bottle of fragrance, which is about the most expensive ingredient. I mean, you can pay anything for a bottle of fragrance oil.
But you get really good ones, like from vanilla, uplifting ones, citrus, chill out ones like lavender, perfumey ones. They even do ones with like what's the?
Do you know what this one is?
Kia Royale.
This is Kia Royale.
Kia Royale.
We're not going to drink it though. It's just
no, but you can't smell it. It smells great.
You do the job. So
the first thing I do is take one of the candle holders, and we've got safety labels that we got. We stick them on because if we give them to our friends and that, we just wanted to make sure that everything's okay, and the safety label just literally goes on the bottom and it says, guess what, this candle's hot. Don't put your finger in the flame. Don't hold it when it's hot, you might burn your hand.
What do you do next?
So next thing you do, take a wick, and I've got these stickers. So these stickers, you stick a wick on this sticker, peel the base off of it, like that. Not that easy to come off. It's very strong, sticky.
Me to do it?
No, got it. Done. And then you stick the wick in the centre of the candle, like that.
These wicks are, so again, I researched this, and these wicks are specifically intended for this type of size of jar, the volume of the wax. Yeah, so and they work really, really well, because what you get is eventually, I've just lit this actually, but eventually you get the whole surface of the candle melting and giving off the lovely scent, rather than just the middle, for example, as you get with some cheap candles, don't you? They just burn in the middle and the outside wax doesn't do anything. I didn't realise
how much there is to know about candles until Belinda got me into it. So there you go. And then you've got one of these which holds the wick up. It's really important, because when you pour the hot wax in, the wick will just float around. So what you do is literally put this over the top. It sits on the top of the glass, and then you pull it into position there, keeps it straight.
And we'll show that when we've actually made a candle in a moment.
Right, so off camera I've just prepared four empty candle jars with wicks and wick holders. So,
and I'm going to weigh out the wax for the 4 candles. There's a joke there somewhere, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm trying hard not to make the 4 candle joke.
We're making 4 candles today.
We're making 4 candles.
4 candles?
Yeah.
4 candles.
4 candles.
So this is the wax. This is the soy wax that I showed to you a bit earlier on, and I'm going to weigh it out. And now for 4 candles, I need 225 grams each. What's that times 4? Maths, quick. 4. 900
900
grams.
900 grams, yeah.
So I need 900 grams of the soy wax.
Close run thing.
What we've
this
been
is
doing,
early in the morning.
What we've been doing is actually buying these candle supplies from a UK supplier, which actually has been quite a cost-effective thing to do. However, sadly,
until now,
well, since Brexit, and now I'm having to pay a customs duty on top of it, which has put the price up somewhat, which is mildly irritating to say the least. Do you know, Lee, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make 4 in this one bowl. No, it won't all fit in. Well, we're already at 420 grams.
We'll just do half.
I'm going to do two at a time.
Two at a time, yeah.
So do 450 grams, there we are, pretty much, of the wax. And I'm going to melt it, as you would melt chocolate really, over a pan of simmering water. It's
like a bain-marie, I suppose.
It is. So I'm going to go over to the argoli with this.
Okay, you're right. Do you want me to carry
no, that's fine.
No, okay.
There we are. I'm going to put that on the agar hob. And I've actually got a thermometer here because it's quite important, well, it's very important actually, to get the right temperature to melt the wax to. And also in a moment I'll show you need to reach a certain temperature to add the oil and stir it in and blend it.
Yeah, this is where I fell foul the first time I had a go at this. I just thought you bunged in the smelly stuff at any point, but you don't, because you have to bung it in at a certain temperature, otherwise it doesn't melt down and infuse.
I don't think it blends and infuses quite as well.
That's right. So when you actually then, the candle goes hard and you start burning it down, it doesn't smell as nice.
So we'll see you in a while when this is melted.
I can't believe I know this much about candles all my life. I've never known anything about candles, and now
you're an expert.
I sound like I'm an expert on it.
So the wax is beginning to melt now. It's reached a temperature of about 28, it's nearly 30 degrees now. It really needs to be 70 degrees before I take it off and pour it into the jug. But it's getting there. It's just beginning to melt at the bottom, and I know now from experience this won't take very long now. So I'll see you when it's melted. Can you see that, Lee? It's actually 69.
I'll zoom in on it.
6 now.
See if we can see it.
And when it reached, it's just going down again because I've taken it out. So once that's reached 70 and it's very, very nearly there, what I'm going to do is very carefully, I'm going to take it off the hob.
Okay.
And very carefully pour it into that metal jug which is on the table. And I'm just there at 70.
Yeah, I can get you the jug.
You can't, it's fine. You can go over 70. You mustn't go beyond 80.
Right.
That's the highest you should go.
Let me pass you the jug.
I'm going to take that off the heat, Lee. Oh, like that.
Right.
Put that down. Get the metal jug.
Here's the little jug.
And then very carefully I'm going to pour the hot wax into the metal jug. There we go. So I poured the wax carefully into this metal jug, and now I need to wait until the temperature in there reaches 65 degrees, and at that point I will add the fragrance. You could, if you wanted to add a colour to your candles, you could add it at that point and melt the colour in, but we're just going to make the nice simple plain coloured candles. I think they look really elegant.
I prefer just the white ones.
I do.
That smell really nice.
I do. So
but believe me, the temperature when you pour this stuff in is really critical, because if you don't get it right, it doesn't diffuse and then the candle burns without scented.
So that's still going up in temperature at the moment, so it's still too hot for me to add the fragrance oil. So it's at 67.5 still.
So it's got to be 65.
65. It's 6. It's 67.6. It's still going up.
Hang on. Well, let's wait for it to come down a bit.
Yeah. The temperature of that wax is now almost down to 65 degrees, which is when I'm going to add the oil. Now, as this is the most expensive part of what you're doing, basically, I don't want to waste the oil, but the recommended amount is between 6 and 10% of your volume of wax. So in here, I've got 450 grams of wax.
Yeah.
So I need roughly half a bottle of this basically.
So can I just ask,
I'm
Belinda,
going to
are
put
you
it
going
in
to
now.
use your tried and tested measuring method?
No, I'm going to, what, my eyeballs?
You're eyeballing it.
Yeah, eyeballing it.
Just
So-
a jollop. 2 jollops.
Do you know, I think that's probably enough. It smells really quite strong, this one. And then, how boring.
Stay your approach your cooking.
I'm going to stir
You're
it slowly.
cooking a candle. Yes.
Yeah, I'm cooking my candles today. So I'm going to stir it slowly and noiselessly-ish for about 2 minutes.
So we won't bother filming the whole 2 minutes of that.
Could do. We could always talk about something else while I'm stirring this.
Well, only my unsuccessful attempts at candle making in the past.
We made some dreadful ones in the
I
past.
know.
Do you remember? We made these a few years back. Do you remember we had a lot of vintage cups?
Yeah, we
that
made. That's right. I remember
that. I was
that.
eager to use up.
Yeah.
And we made them, but we didn't look into the research at all, and they were dreadful.
We
There were
bought
great holes in them. Do you remember? Great dips and holes and
also.
dreadful.
I remember you sourcing some really cheap wax off the internet.
Oh, it was dreadful.
And the
So
colours,
horrible.
the colours were like bright lime green and ghastly pink. Oh,
Oh
they
dear.
were dreadful.
Yeah, since we bought a chateau, you see, we've become very sophisticated.
Yes, we've tried to up our game, so to speak.
It doesn't notice, does it?
No, I think we're still the same people at heart. Just live in a cold old house.
I'm just going to do this for about another minute. You won't want to watch this.
So this is where my job comes into its own.
What's that?
Cleaner up.
Oh, what, you're cleaning the probe? Yeah, because I
I've
want
got
to
to
pull
clean the
these
probe.
now.
So I'm assistant number 1,
Here we are, sous chef.
sous chef.
So I'm going to very carefully pour this wax slowly into these containers. And there is a reason for that, because again, you don't want to create any air holes.
Yes, you don't want air holes in it.
So I'm just going to do this really, really, really slowly and gently. I can smell this already, Lee.
I can smell it from here actually. From behind the camera I can smell it.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Looks really nice as well.
I'm going to put a bit in that one at the front.
Yeah.
Now this amount, carefully calculated, should make 2 perfect size candles. These are 30 centilitre candle jars, and I've worked out that you need about 225 grams each of the wax to make a really good size candle. Because you don't want it right to the top, says she, because it's nearly getting right to the top. Hold on.
Well, you could always pour it in one of the others as well. Any overspill.
Good, couldn't I? Do you I think
Yeah.
that's enough, don't you?
Yeah, I think that's enough. It looks really nice. And, you know, they're only for our personal use anyway,
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
true.
not like... I think... We'll make the other 2 now, but we can
I don't need so
use
much, do I?
less material, yeah, which is great because it's super expensive.
Well, it's really the fragrance that's expensive, Lee. The wax isn't too dreadful. I think they look really nice just as they are, don't you?
Yeah, they do. But we need to now quickly do the other 2.
Yeah,
to
because
fill
I
it.
need to add to the...
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see in a bit. That's the second lot of wax ready to pour now. So you can see that little bit I poured into those jars there has actually begun to set quite firmly. I'm just hoping that this is going to integrate with it, and we'll see. This is obviously hot. And hopefully it'll melt it so that we don't get a stripe.
This is for us
I don't
where it all
know,
goes
look.
wrong normally.
I know. Just gonna pour in that
So you're doing a
side
bit
as
at a
well.
time to see if you
Well, I
can
just-
melt it.
Yeah. Oh, it should be all right, shouldn't
It
it?
should be alright, yeah.
It's only a
Famous
candle
last
when all's
words,
said
isn't
and
it?
done.
It's like... In the end you end up with like a Battenberg candle,
Yeah, but at least you don't have to eat it, Lee.
which is true.
Like some other disasters.
Yes, I've eaten some very pleasant disasters in the past actually.
I just hope we don't get a stripe, that's all.
Don't want to stripe your candle, love. They look alright. It looks like it's
They're
melting down okay.
Do you know the colour of these is different, isn't it? It's quite yellowy, and I think, well, that must be the colour of that oil, because it was a darker colour.
Yeah, it's poisoning the colour of the wax.
But actually,
yeah.
I think it's quite pleasant, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice actually.
Yeah. Not going to waste any of this.
No, pour it all in.
So we'll pour it all in, even if it does make them. Shall I pour some more in these two?
Yeah, why not? It's only for our own
for us,
consumption, isn't it? So it doesn't matter.
Not that much. Because I do like them to all be the same.
Is this part of your OCD coming out, Belinda?
Slightly. It's very slight.
Well,
which one's not quite
I've
the same?
worked with you in the kitchen and I wouldn't use the word slight at all.
Oh, okay. Only with certain things though. I think that's done, Lee. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's take that out
Is
then.
that done?
Well done. Now what's next?
So what's next is we leave these for about 24 hours when they'll be totally solid, and then we can take off these retainers. They're like dental retainers, aren't they, just for wicks?
I want one of those stuck in my mouth.
Cut down, nor was I. Cut down the wicks to a decent length. And then we've got these nice lids that we can pop on top as well.
Polish them all up.
Oh, and we'll
and some
label
labels.
them.
Yeah, some labels. I'll print some labels out on the
chateau
printer.
label,
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So we'll see you tomorrow when these are nice and dry.
Okay.
And set. Dry. Hi there.
So we're back.
It's the following day.
We've
by
come
magic.
back to see how these have set.
Do you know what? They've done really well. Look.
Set really nicely.
No stripes that I can see.
Oh, I've got a little bubble one here. Look.
Oh, okay. Hold on a minute.
This one's got. Looks like it's got.
Do you know what I think
bit
that
of an
is?
air bubble in it.
No, do you know what I think that is?
That's where we poured.
No, I think
together.
it's the glass. I think it's the way the glass is, Lee. Because look, that's got that as well there.
Oh yeah.
So I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Anyway.
They look great. And I love the colour, don't you?
Yeah.
I like that pale, very pale lemony colour. So Lee's going to take
these off.
The little guards off, and I'm going to...
They work well as well, look, dead straight. I don't know if you can see that. Marvellous.
How high should I cut these? About to there? About to the top?
A little bit high, yeah.
To there?
Yeah.
There we go. Oops. So just above the top of the glass.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut them. Those bits are going everywhere.
That's all right, I've got a vacuum up in here anyway.
They look really good.
Yeah, let's put a lid on them.
Okay.
Got a bit of rag a tea towel, we can just give the lids a bit of a polish up.
So, Lee, you've got some labels there, but they don't look very good, do
Now, I printed some labels out. What we did was we bought some, I don't know if you can see that properly, but we bought some transparent labels, which is good. A couple of them have got blurred where I scrapped it off the machine, but I'll peel this one off.
Scrabbed, is that a new word?
Scrapped it, yeah, I scrapped it. As you can see, they're clear, and it's just got our logo on it. So the idea was to literally stick a label on them, but I made a mistake. Another Lee Prince special. I bought translucent labels suitable for laser printing, and
You don't have a laser printer.
I've got an inkjet printer, and you can see they've just bubbled up, and I don't think they're good enough really to put on. However, we've also got some boxes.
Okay. Let's get these out and see how
And
they look.
what I was going to do, some years ago we had our own Chateau Marais stamp made for a wedding we were doing, and we got ink in. Hang on, don't I'll stamp them first. And what I was going to do is just
Oh, you're going to stamp it first.
Stamp it.
Which is the front? Do you know which is the front and which is the right way up?
Well, that's got to be the lid that closes.
Yeah, that's the lid.
So that's the front.
So that's the front. Okay. Where are you going to do it? At the bottom or in the middle? In the middle?
Yeah, straight in the middle.
Oh, that's nice. I really like that.
Chateau Marais label, and then we just
make up the box.
Make up the box.
Can't be that difficult, can it?
Not beyond the wit of man. Ooh.
One of those inside? No. That's not right, is it?
No.
Should we do this off camera?
We're going to do this off camera in case I disgrace myself in dispatches.
Made the boxes up. I think they look quite nice, don't they?
While fumbling around with the boxes.
But we've also decided that we're going to give these labels a go, even though they're a little bit faded and antique actually. So
have a patina.
I think they look quite nice. So you're going to put
just stick the last label on. We've done those three. We've got two different label designs.
So we've got the let's hold it up. Do that one. That's it. Like that. That's it. Lovely.
This production line is labour intensive. If it takes two people to stick a label on a candle, how many people does it take to stack
candles.
the boxes?
How about that then? So let's put them in the boxes, shall we?
I've got to say they smell really nice. That one smells lovely. Polish the lid up though. Need to polish the lid.
Oh dear, finger marks. There we go.
That's it.
And pop them in the box like that. And who wouldn't be happy to receive these, one of these as a gift?
Set them right. Candle in box. Lovely.
So that's a new string to our bow, so to speak. Oops.
So here we have it. Chateau Marais candles.
Crafty candles.
The crafty candle maker. So are you pleased with that, Linda?
I think they're great. I really like them. And they weren't too difficult to make, and great, we can have scented candles whenever we like now. So before we go, I just wanted to show everybody my latest little crochet creation. It's all about C, isn't it? Chateau, candles, crafting, creations. And I've made this sweet little blanket. It's a little baby blanket. Lee thinks it's suitable for a boy.
Oh, I don't know why. It was meant. It's just like there's quite strong colours.
But I've been careful to make sure it's got all sorts of colours in it, and I'm particularly fond of these little. I don't want to burn.
Blow the candle out.
Shall I blow the candle out?
There we go. I must admit, I was getting worried about that when you started flaunting the blanket around. I thought it was going to be a flaming bush kind of thing we were going to have.
It's got starfish on the corners with a little cat button inside of them. I think that's quite nice. So that's my latest one. So you might wonder why we are still indoors, and look, I'm still dressed for the winter here. We both are really. Do you know, it's still quite cold outside. It's quite bright, but really, really quite chilly, and we haven't been able to be out as much as we would like to. I think what we'd hope to do is to show you more of what's going on in the garden, for example. One of the other films that we've got planned, which we think everyone will like, is
and it's a hidden secret from most people. Not many people
it's
get to go. It's
virtually under my feet actually at the moment.
We have a cell, a prison cell, or what do they call it in France?
An oubliette, actually, or a dungeon is the English way of saying it.
But not a donjon, a dungeon,
which means a castle keep. Anyway, more about that when we actually get to making the film, but I think that's probably going to be the next one that we're thinking of making.
It's quite an interesting history thing, and although it's just one large room, it's interesting how it all came about.
Anyway, hope you've liked our little brief demonstration of how to make a scented candle in a not very expert way, and
warts and all, so to speak.
We will see you again very soon, and we just, as always, want to thank you for your continued support. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you all very soon. Goodbye.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
From Chateau Marais.